Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. This video is regarding speaker replacement for the Lenovo Ideapad C340. So mine is the AMD Ryzen 5 variant. So just showing it to you. I hope it is visible on the camera. So this laptop is now like 4 years old, and the speakers, the left speaker started crackling. So I tried fixing it, but only ended up getting it worse. So these things basically they cannot be repaired, they can only be replaced. So this is a quick video on showing you how to get the speaker assembly replaced. So there are a total of 10 screws on the back side. I hope it is visible on the camera. So yeah, so this screw, this is different for mine as the body is kind of damaged. As you can see, it's a very common issue with this laptop, like plagued on the forums as well. And so this screw is kind of different for me. In your case, you will find a screw very similar to this one. This is a Torx T5 screw that requires this kind of a screwdriver to get access to it. It's not focusing. I think yeah, I hope you were able to see that. So this is what you will need to take apart the laptop, and maybe some spudgers might help you. So off we go. So I'll taking the T5 screws as first. So this screw you see right here, this I actually had to modify a bit because this portion is badly damaged, and what happened was, like, when the damage happened, it took out the entire screw hole along with it, and the original screw was not supporting this base cover anymore. And so I fixed this with some epoxy adhesive, like fix as in like got around the problem, and I had to opt for a bigger screw, such that like a screw which fits the thread inside it, while providing adequate support for the for that section. So when taking out the screws, just be a bit careful. Like, it's very easy to damage the screws, like if your screwdriver slips, or if you're using a smaller bit than what is required. Okay, so for me this is this is a T6 bit actually. I think I said T5 before. So now taking that other screw, so yeah, now all the screws from the back panel is removed, and we are good to get this out. So how to get this out? So you might need a plastic spudger, something like this. I hope it is visible on the camera. So, or if you have some good nails, that will also work. So what I do is I just apply a little bit of pressure along here. Okay, do not apply too much pressure, because you know these portions, these are quite, like, I hope it is visible. Let me just point it out. Yeah, so these portions, these are quite thin, and it is easy to break them. Okay, so just be a bit careful. I'm trying to make it come on the camera. Yeah, so that's the portion I usually go for taking it apart, and then I just slide my fingers or the nails, whichever it is, or what you can do is, keeping a small gap, you can gently insert the spudger and run it along. So yeah, that's the base cover removed. This is the base cover. So I'm just going to move it to the side, and we have access to the internals of the laptop. So as you can see, this speaker is also damaged, but at least it was working. And for this, just to like make it work somehow, I installed a smartphone speaker, and just wired the connections accordingly. Like, of course it worked, but the sound quality was nothing like the original. So this is a tutorial video on how to get those replaced. Okay, so first thing you will need to do is to disconnect the battery. This is a precautionary step. It's, if you are confident in your work, it's not required actually for these kind of replacement. Like, the speakers are actually not getting any kind of power while you replace them, so it's going to be fine. But if you are unsure, or like if you are planning to upgrade anything like the RAM or the SSD, I would highly recommend you disconnect the battery. For me, I am confident that I will be able to get the speakers replaced without like involving anything else, and hence let's proceed. So this connector here is our speaker connector. I hope it is visible. Yes, this connector. And the way you take it out is a plastic spudger is actually more suitable because it prevents any kind of short circuits. Like, you can of course use something metal as well, like a pair of tweezers or something like that, but for these kind of things, and especially if you have power going in, then it's safer to do it with a spudger. Now you can use your fingernails like this, or you can use a tweezer like this to gently pull the connector out. It comes along like this, not like this. Like, you will end up damaging the connector if you pull like this. So do not pull on the wires, just hold. Like, there are very small clips. If I can just show you, let me see if I can zoom. Yes, so you can see along the sides there are very tiny like protrudings of the plastic, you see. So, and that's actually enough to insert something like a needle nose plier or something. Okay, I think I messed up the brightness, so let me check how to. Okay, yeah, I think that's fine now. Okay, so let's proceed. I am comfortable using my fingernails, so I'll just do that and just do a little bit wiggling, and there it comes out, just like that. Okay, so since this speaker is no longer there anymore, I'm going to show you with this one. It's just pretty straightforward how to remove it. Just like grab onto an edge and just lift this up. Okay, and then the wires are routed along some clips in the bottom. Just like run along the wire, and this one I have fixed it with some double-sided tape. So that's it, our speaker removal is complete. This is the old one, as you can see, very damaged, very filthy. I will just move it to the side, and for me actually I will need to remove these double-sided adhesive as well. This won't be there in your case because this is a modification I needed to make so that it works properly. Like, at least I could get some audio out of it. Okay, so these are our replacement speakers. I got this from Amazon for around 950 rupees including shipping. The shipping was free, so otherwise it might have been kind of expensive and maybe not even worth it for this kind of repair. Like but since I got them for cheap, I am getting this replaced, and it took around 14 days for these to arrive. This was international shipping. I need to check from where it came. So yeah, before doing the replacements, you can see the replacement I have. This came with the these are anti vibrations, anti vibration rubber pads, and my unit came with these. Okay, so I'm going to remove the original ones. These two came along with the speaker only, the other one, and I'm going to remove this one manually. Yeah, so that's done. And just yeah, just put these on. Give a little bit of pressure. Do not touch the, it's a good practice to not touch the actual speaker itself. And then we just need to read out the wires accordingly, like it was from the factory. So you can see the clip here, then here, and like you get what I'm trying to say now. So these clips are actually kind of important, like very important actually, so that these are given so that you do not like punch through the wire when putting on the back panel, or like screw over them, even worse actually. And then we need to put this unit on the clips. Yeah, so that looks fine. And then read out the wires again. Yeah, we have a bit of slack here, but that's not going to be a problem as long we have it like separated, like isolated from the screw holes or any kind of like prongs that might be inserted when we install the back cover again. And so now that this is done, okay, one moment. Yeah, looks fine. Now we are going to plug this back. Yeah, so just we need to like the way I do it is I hold on the wires and just guide this plug to the connector. You can use a tweezer if you're more comfortable using it that way. Okay, so it's creating a bit of some trouble. Yeah, so once you have got that inside, just apply a little bit of pressure like this until it goes fully in. Yeah. All right, and that's it. So our speaker replacements are done, and we are good to close up the cover. Okay, now while putting it back, there are some clips along the top, along here, and then there are some at the bottom as well. So I'm just going to put this back. Let's just wipe it off while we're at it. So yeah, it was fairly clean actually. And then just put this back. So yeah, you just heard the clips along the bottom. Now the same goes for the top as well. You can see we have some gap here. So you can apply some pressure, yeah, like that. Yeah. So yeah, you just can like put it upside down and just do something like this. Yeah, you see something clicked along there, and yeah, now you are good to close it up. So I'm going to put this my modified screw on this hole. Yeah, so that's done. I'm good to change my bit now. Again, this is a okay, why is it not focusing? Yeah, as you can see, it's a T6 bit. Okay, it's focused again, and now just putting the screws where they were. Do not over tighten them, it might cause the plastics to crack. So for this laptop, it's actually in pretty good condition except for this cosmetic damage, and still performs very well as well. Like mine has the Ryzen 5 3500U and came with 8 gigs of RAM and a 1 TB SSD. So I had no use for that 1 TB SSD on this laptop, so I just pulled it out and got that into my desktop, which I use as my gaming PC, as you might know. And I purchased a 500 GB Kingston A2000. This was back on 2020, I believe. Like, yeah. And as for the cosmetic damage, you might be wondering why I did not get it repaired or replaced. And like, this is not something that happened because of me. This is a design flaw with this laptop. So not just like these parts are expensive, like for the top portion there is damage there as well. I will when I power on the laptop, you will see. So it all happened along the hinges, and like if you check the internet, you will see these kind of issues flooded on the Lenovo forums. So I'm not sure why this happens. Maybe Lenovo needs to do some proper QC. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's the reason I did not get it replaced, because if it happened once, it will happen again. And it's not that I dropped the laptop or something like that. In fact, I actually took very good care of it. The screen, it's a touch screen. It does not have a single speck of scratch or anything. It's clean. I've replaced the thermal paste also once, and yeah, it works just fine. As you can see, I'm not applying too much pressure along the screws, just enough so that they stay in place. If you have access to some thread locker, you can apply those as well, so that the screws stay where they are supposed to. Okay, now that this is done, let's go ahead and test it out, see our repair has worked. Okay, still lights up. Yeah, and it's booting up. Yeah, that sounds amazing. Yeah, just like the original. So yeah, I think this is a success, but still, let's just go ahead and play something. I'm quickly going to go to YouTube and play one of my own videos, or let's just try NCR. It's safer that way. Yeah. And probably hear it. that sounds like new. Yeah, so that's it for this repair. Sorry for that. And yeah, so on a different note, yeah, these are the damages I told you about around the hinges. As you can see, very common issue with various Lenovo models, including this one. So yeah, I have applied epoxy, a lot of it actually. Like I took the hinges out and applied it that way, and so far it's been holding up okay. As you can see, yeah, it does not look the best, but it works. The keyboard is fine as well, as you can see. Okay, so yeah, that's it for this repair. I hope you find it useful if you have a similar laptop or this one maybe. And yeah, bye, take care, see you in the next one.